Buenas. This Committee on Rules meeting is called back to order at 1:28 Chamorro Standard Time on this Thursday, May 16th. The rules of engagement for the meeting: the chair will recognize a member who raises their hand to make a motion. The chair will rule a member out of order if they have not been recognized by the chair. And the chair will also note a second to a motion is not required. The Court Director, Ms. Cameron Nelson, will now call the roll of members.
Chairperson Senator Barnett. Vice Chairperson Senator Perez. Speaker Terlahi. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Senator Shelton. Senator Parkinson. Senator Kanata. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Nicolas. Senator Brown. Senator Duenas. Senator Fisher. Senator Taitigui. Mr. Chair, there is a quorum.
Mr. Duas-Masi, Ms. Nelson, the chair will now recognize the vice chair on the motion to excuse members not present.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Hearing and no objections, motion passes. Colleagues, the core meeting minutes can be found on the Google Drive folder dated 5/16/24, labeled 3, Approval of 37th Guam Legislature Core Meeting Minutes. The chair will now recognize the vice chair on a motion to approve the core meeting minutes for the April 10th, 2024 meeting.
I make the motion to approve the core meeting minutes, subject to corrections.
On the motion, no objection, motion passes. We'll now move on to item number 4 on the core agenda, document tracking. I'll recognize our legislative secretary, so it's not here, so our vice chair has prepared the document tracking. And again, colleagues, these documents are available in the Google Core Meeting Drive dated April 10, 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of the Secretary, this is the Secretary's report. Appointments by Governor. There are 95 appointments submitted by Governor Lou Leon Guerrero to date. There was one appointment confirmed for March 3rd, 2023 session, one appointment for the March 27 session, 4 appointments for the April 2023 session, 3 for the May 23 session, 7 appointments confirmed during the June 23 session, 12 appointments confirmed during the October 23 session, 3 appointments confirmed during November 23, 8 appointments confirmed for January 24, 8 appointments confirmed for February 24, 8 appointments confirmed for March 24, and 7 appointments confirmed for April 24, for a total of 68 appointments confirmed. Of the remaining 27 appointments, there are pending confirmations, 5 withdrawals, 8 have extended beyond the authorized 90-day deadline. There is 1 zone change request at this time. There are 9 rules and regulation requests. 3 bills have been introduced, and all 3 are now law. Bill 93-37, now Public Law 37-39, regarding institutional playgrounds from the Department of Public Health and Social Services. The second one is Bill 92-37, now Public Law 37-38, regarding barber and beauty shops. Bill 149, now Public Law 3741, in regards to, I believe it's the sulfur dioxide non-attainment areas. 2 have lapsed by default. The new fee package from Guam Memorial Hospital Authority had its 90-day deadline on June 11, 2023. The new fee package from the Guam Memorial Hospital had its 90-day deadline for the August 30th, 2023. There are 4 registered lobbyists at this time, and this concludes the Secretary's report.
Thank you, Senator Perez. We'll now move on to the next item on the agenda, sub-item B, ratification of re-referrals. Colleagues, these documents can be found in the Google Drive folder labeled 04B, legislative item logs. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referral of Bill number 250-37 LS and 263-37 Core through 275-37 Core and 276-37 LS through 292-37 LS and 293-37 Core through 297-37 Core? Thank you. No objections. Motion passes. The chair will note there have been no resolutions referred since our April 10th, 2024 meeting. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referral of appointments?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. No objection. Motion passes. I will now move to the items cleared for consideration of the session agenda. Committee reports for the following items have been duly filed with the Committee on Rules. And just for your consideration, our session is going to be 4 days with a day for engrossment. So if we could limit to one bill and then maybe a second if time permits afterwards, because of the holiday. So we're going into session on Memorial Day week, and so Monday we're off, and then so that leaves 4 days, and then the clerks would probably need a day to engross. So it's really just 3 days. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do one round and then we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Colleagues, I'd like to note the following committee reports that have been filed with the Committee on Rules and are available on our legislative website for review and public view. And you have that sheet there. So, any motions, Speaker?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move to place Bill 240. This is introduced by myself. It's an act to amend. This is on behalf of the Attorney General's Office. It's an act to amend Section 34111B, add a new 34401, 4402, 4403 of Article 1, Chapter 34, Title 5, Guam Code, annotated, relative to effectively distributing and disposing of undistributed child support funds at the Office of the Attorney General of Guam.
On the motion, any objection? Hearing none, motion passes. Senator San Augustine?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move Bill 285 as amended by the Committee on General Government Operation Appropriation, an act to appropriate $1 million from fiscal year 2024 general fund revenues collected in excess of the adopted levels enumerated in Public Law 37-42 as amended to the Guam Office of Veterans Affairs relative to increasing services and operations.
On the motion to add Bill 285-37 LS to the session agenda, any objection? Hearing none, motion passes. Senator Park? Oh.
I got one on behalf of
Senator San Augustine.
Bill 268. Yeah, he asked me to move. Bill 268-37, an act to add new sections 67111, 67112, and 67113 to Article 1 of Chapter 67 of Title 10 of the Guam Code annotated relative to the services provided by the Office of Veterans Affairs. Yeah, she asked me to introduce it.
On the motion to add 268? Bill 268-37 to the session agenda, any objection? Hearing none, motion passes. Senator Parkinson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to place on the session agenda Bill number 277-37 LS, introduced by myself, Senator William A. Parkinson, Amanda L. Shelton, Tina Rose Munya-Barnes, Thomas J. Fisher, Dwayne T.D. St-Nicholas, and Roy A.B. Kanata, an act to appropriate $15,828,000 from fiscal year 2024 general fund revenues collected in excess of the adopted levels enumerated in Public Law 37-42 as amended to the Guam Power Authority for a 3-month extension to the Programa Ayuda para Itautauta Energy Credit Program, relative to providing customers with $300 credit towards their account. Status on Bill 277-37. Committee report has been posted and available on the website.
On the motion to add 277-37 to the session agenda, any objection? Yeah. No objection? Motion carries. Senator St-Nicholas?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make a motion to place resolution number 218-37 onto the session agenda, sponsored by myself, Joanne Brown, Roy A.B. Kanata, Therese Terlahi, Frank Bloss Jr., Chris Barnett, Amanda Shelton, Chris M. Duenas, Joe San Augustine, Tina Rose Munya-Barnes, Jesse Lujan, William Parkinson, relative to supporting H.R. 522, Deliver for Veterans Act, introduced in the United States House of Representatives, which aims to cover the shipping and delivery expenses of adaptive vehicles provided for veterans with disabilities.
On the motion to add resolution 218-37 COR to the session agenda, any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Kanata, Senator Roy?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move Bill number 109-37 LS, Committee on Maritime Transportation, Air Transportation, Parks, Tourism, Higher Education, and the Advancement of Women, Youth, and Senior Citizens by the request of Congressman Manhobin, the Guam Youth Congress, in accordance with 2 GCA subsection, yeah. 109-37. It's on the agenda. Second page, last bill. Bill number 109-37?
Yeah. It's page
It's
7.
on the agenda. It's not on that Excel spreadsheet.
This one,
Yeah.
yeah, page 7.
Second page. Congress. Youth Congress.
On the motion to place Bill 109-37 on the session agenda, any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Paris? Senator Paris?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to add into the session agenda Bill number 274-37 COR, as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue and Taxation, Labor Procurement, Statistics, Research, and Planning, sponsored by Senator Sabina Flores Perez, Speaker Teresa M. Terlahi, and Senator Chris Barnett. It's an act to add new sections 14242 and 14243 to Article 2, Chapter 14, Title 12, Guam Code Annotated, relative to creating commercial paper program for the Guam Water Works Authority, approving terms and conditions of the issuance of the Guam Water Works Authority revenue bonds, and authorizing Guam Water Works Authority to obtain loans from time to time through the Water Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Act of 2014, or WIFIA program, and related matters. That is 274-37 COR.
On the motion to add 274-37 COR, any objection? None, motion carries.
Yeah. On behalf of the chair, I'd like to add onto the session agenda Bill number 183-37 COR, sponsored by Senators Chris Barnett, Jesse A. Lujan, Christopher M. Duenas, Joanne M. Brown, Tello T. Taitigui, Dwayne T. D. San Nicolas, Joe S. San Augustine, Sabina Flores Perez, Amanda L. Shelton, Roy A. B. Kanata, Thomas J. Fisher, William A. Parkinson. It's an act to amend sections 25.15B and 25.20B to Chapter 25, Title 9, Guam Code Annotated, relative to enacting higher minimum sentencing requirements for individuals convicted of first and second degree criminal sexual conduct involving victims under 12 years of age.
Thank you, Senator Paris. On the motion to add Bill 183-37 to the session agenda, any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Taitigui?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, on behalf of Minority Leader Senator Frank Blas Jr., I'd like to make a motion to include Bill number 153-37 LS, an act to add a new subsection 80.37B to Article 2, Chapter 80, Title 9, Guam Code Annotated, relative to the possession of use of an explosive or an improvised explosive device in the commission of a felony, to be placed on the session agenda.
On the motion to place...
Oh, and that's also introduced by Senator Tom Fisher and Dwayne San Nicolas.
Thank you, Senator Taitigui. 153-37 LS onto the session agenda. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries.
Let her do that.
Senator Brown?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to place Bill number 227-37 COR as amended by the Committee on General Government Operations and Appropriations, introduced by myself and Senator Tello Taitigui. It's an act to amend Section 1909I relative to enhancing the independent status of the Office of the Public Accountability, OPA, by continuously appropriating 1/4, which is 0.25 of 1% of the Government of Guam's annual budget to the OPA.
On the motion to add Bill 227-37 COR to the session agenda, any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Duenas?
This time, Mr. Chairman, while we're in bills, of course, unfortunately, there are no committee reports for the bills, but I want to announce in core that I will be moving Bill 5137 on the floor, as is my privilege, as well as 175-37. I will be making motions on the floor to add both of those bills to the agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Duenas. Senator San Augustine?
Mr. Chair, I just want to advise our colleagues that because we're only looking at 4 days, we can expect at least 1 day specifically for the committee of the whole on appropriations. So we got to be mindful of how we spend our hours for the other 3 days, because we're going to vote on the 4th day, am I understanding, right? So that means we only really got, I beg your pardon?
Maybe we should just limit to one bill.
And I just wanted to make sure that we all remind ourselves that anything that deals with appropriation will be the last day before we go to vote, so we make sure we manage our time. I just wanted to make sure we understand that. Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator San Augustine.
Mr. Chair.
Senator Tyree?
Thank you for that observation on our timeline on this, but, I think with Committee of the Whole, we found that 2 days is better. I mean, with all these bills that are coming on, the majority of them are all under the Committee of the Whole. So only to reserve only 1 day for Committee of the Whole, I don't think that's feasible. I think we should at least reserve 2 days for Committee of the Whole. I mean, majority of the bills, if you look at it, the majority of the bills are all under the Committee of the Whole. So just a recommendation or observation or a suggestion. Take your choice.
Thank you, Senator Tyree, for your suggestion. And observation and all of it. Yes, thank you. Senator Parkinson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to place on the session agenda Bill number 260-37, COR, as amended by the Committee on Fire, Agriculture, Power and Energy Utilities, Public Transit, Unemployment Insurance, and Universal Health Insurance, introduced by myself, Senator William A. Parkinson, an act to add a new Section 81087 of Division 1, Chapter 8, Title 11, Guam Code Annotated, relative to lawful operation of cannabis-related facilities. Status on Bill 260-37 COR has been posted and available on the website.
On the motion to place Bill 260
Mr.
Speaker?
Chair, I have no objection to that.
Okay.
Bill, just our time, so I would make a motion that this second round of bills be, bottom of the agenda in the order that they are placed right now, and only if time permits, because we will, I say we go through the round of bills we've already approved and the Committee of Whole, and then see if we have time to do any others.
Thank you for your suggestion, Madam Speaker. Senator Duenas?
Just for the record, I respect all this discussion on limit of time and we only have these many days. This is what we do as senators. This is really one of only our main 3 functions as senators, is to discuss and debate legislation. I wanted to put on the record, I'm personally offended by this limit of bills and limitations. If we need to extend session, we should extend session, because that's what we do. We seem to find time for everything else that we want to do socially and everything else, but this is really what we were put in here to do. So I object to time limits, and I object to any limitations because of time limits and days and the way sessions being scheduled. I just want to put that on the record.
Thank you, Senator Duenas. On the motion, where there was a motion to add 260-37 to the session agenda, is there any objection?
Objection.
There's been an objection. All those in favor, please raise your hands.
God, all the drug problems on Guam, we see where your priorities are.
Motion passes. Senator San Augustine?
This is for the second round only, if time permits. Bill 261-37, an act to amend 4108C2B of Chapter 4, Title 4, Guam Code, relative to greater inclusion and sick leave policy. Introduced by myself, co-sponsored by Senator Dwayne Snickers, Senator Roy Canales, Vice Speaker Tina Rosemary Barnes, Jesse Luan, and Senator Tom Fisher. If time permits.
On the motion to add 261-37 LS to the session agenda, is there any objection? Hearing none, motion passes. Speaker Terlai?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a bill here that has some time sensitivity. It's Bill number 289-37. These are rules and regs submitted by the Guam Hospital Authority. So according to the AAA, I made a bill for it so that it can be either amended, if anyone wanted to amend it. When we had the hearing, GMH said there was no objection and there was no other testimony at the hearing. But after the hearing, we received testimony from Select Care showing that they had in fact submitted an objection to GMH right after GMH's public hearing within the time period allowed. So they do have an objection to these rules. So I would like to motion to put it on the floor in case anyone in the body would like to either amend the rules as they have been presented by GMH and with the objection of Select Care or not. So just so that it's up for discussion. So it doesn't default as it is without having the opportunity to amend it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So the motion is to place Bill 289-37 onto the session agenda. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Peres?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make the motion to place Bill 273-37 as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue, and Taxation, Labor, Procurement, Statistics, Research, and Planning, sponsored by Senator Sabina Flores Perez, Speaker Therese Terlahi, and Senator Chris Barnett. It's an act to add a new section 14104P to Article 1 of Chapter 14, Title 12 Guam Code annotated relative to authorizing the Guam Waterworks Authority to establish a customer assistance program to promote water conservation and facilitate repairs on private property. 273-37.
On the motion to place 273-37 COR onto the session agenda, any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Yeah. Senator Peres?
Okay, on behalf of the chair, I'd like to place on the session agenda Bill number 57-37 COR as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue, and Taxation, Labor, Procurement, Statistics, Research, and Planning, sponsored by Senator Chris Barnett, Sabina Flores Perez, Speaker Therese Terlahi. It's an act to add a new section 5425.3 to Part A of Article 9, Chapter 5, Title 5, Guam Code annotated relative to providing temporary expedited procurement protest procedures for acquisitions funded with the American Rescue Plan Act monies allotted to the government of Guam.
Thank you, Senator Peres. On the motion to add Bill 57-37 to the session agenda? No objection? Motion. 57-37, no objections, motion carries. And I think we're on appointments. Senator Kanata, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to place Rena K. Borja, Member of General Public Representative for Guam Contractors License Board. Committee report was filed May 9, 2024 at 2:31. Confirm receipt by May 9, 2024 at 2:40 p.m. Uploaded onto the website May 9, 2024 at 2:56 p.m.
On the motion to add Rena K. Borja, Member General Public Representative Guam Contractors Licensing Board to the session agenda, any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Kanata.
I also would like to move Michael A. Scrow, sorry, my bad. Member Guam Visitor Bureau Board of Directors on behalf of Senator Shelton.
On the motion, any objection? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Senator Kanata. Speaker Terlai.
So I move to approve a session agenda with the bills that we've adopted today to be added onto the session agenda in numerical order. However, with all those that require committee of the whole to be put on the bottom of that list. And then we have a second list of second round that those go on the bottom in the order that they've been placed here today on the agenda.
On that motion, is there any objection? Hearing none. Senator Parkinson?
No objection on the agenda, but I just wanted to follow the lead of my esteemed colleague and just, announce for the Committee on Rules that I plan to attach bill number 39-37 on the floor, and that's in a bill to effectuate change by eliminating the duty to retreat from the curtilage of one's residence when in relation to castle doctrine. And so no objection to the motion. I just wanted to get that out for the record.
I second that motion.
Thank you, Senators. Okay, so on the motion again to approve the session agenda, any objection? Vetoes?
It's ready on you.
No objection, motion carries. Speaker Terlahi, you're recognized.
I'd like to make a motion to allow our council to discuss with us pending resolutions for the legislature's entering or responding in certain cases. One was the U.S. Supreme Court case that we discussed at our last meeting. Recently, the U.S. Supreme Court has, we put in a waiver of a response, but the U.S. Supreme Court has responded by asking the parties to put in a response. So we have a July 28 deadline, and I would just like to ask that we discuss that maybe on Monday, if we continue this part of the meeting and discuss that resolution on Monday because it's not finally in writing. But that's relative to that U.S. Supreme Court case. The issue was whether the legislature has the power to enact a law that says that our Guam Supreme Court can do declaratory judgments. There's a second court case I'd also like to discuss or have our council discuss, and that is, so recently we saw in the news about GWA is in a lawsuit regarding the water treatment plant up near Ukudu. And for me, the issue would be that I would like the legislature to enter it because there's an issue of whether the property was transferred or not, and whether the legislature gave its approval of transfer. So I would like to hire a lawyer to review this issue for us and give us advice as to whether we should enter that case as well, and whether the property is, whether we're going to argue that the property was transferred without legislative authority, and I think we should protect that legislative authority of Government of Guam land transfers.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So,
So council says that resolution's not ready either, so, it would be ready, I guess, tomorrow. She could distribute it, and we could discuss that on Monday if you're willing to recess and come back.
okay, so the, Senator Canata, you got,
Can I just clarify, these are two resolutions, so they both need legal counsel to be dealt with, or are they both under the same legal counsel if?
No, it would be to give, like in the past, what we've done is that the resolutions say the Committee on Rules shall hire a counsel in this case. And then, so in this, we have two cases now that we're proposing to hire a counsel separately to review and discuss those cases with us.
Okay, so two separate legal counsels for this, or? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair, that's all.
thank you, Senator Canata. Okay, so the motion, from my understanding, is to recess until Monday at noon, and then legal counsel will prepare the resolutions for discussion on Monday. Senator Augustine, good? Everybody good with that? Any objection? Oh, okay, so this,
I just want to mention that so that in the waterworks case, the water wells, if they have to purchase them back from, it would be a 200 million plus liability for the government of Guam to fine. That's what's at stake, yeah.
thank you. Yes, so this meeting is recessed until Monday at noon. Okay? Sidos Masi. Está.